everybody. Hey, my name is Matt. I'm the Awakening Angler. And we're here. It's New Year's Eve. We got people joining in already. What's up? Let's see. I think I adjusted audio, but let me check it. Okay. Merlin, what's up, Wiz? Paul Cato, good morning, sir. I did get your message, Paul, and I plan on getting a hold of you next week after the holidays are all over. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing? Ha 1 year ago today, we were all sitting at the pier, hanging out, having coffee and donuts from the great people up at Country Glazed in Central Square. Boy, it's been a hell of a year. 2023 has been a hell of a year, and it's ending just as good as it started. Lots of amazing stuff. What do you guys want to do today? You know, I mean, I'm out fishing. Dun, dun, dun. It's New Year's Eve day. We're going to be fishing well into the new year. I can tell you that right now. There doesn't look like any signs of a cold snap in the near future to bring us any appreciable ice anytime soon. I know that a lot of people have been doing the guessing game, which I did last year, and I love doing it. It's fun. You know, when do you think there's going to be first ice? I don't know. I mean, I'll say Valentine's Day. How about that? I'll say Valentine's Day. And it's funny, at this point, I don't plan on even winterizing my boat, even if I have to pull it out of my slip in front of my house. Like at this point, unless things turn just drastic, at least Lake Ontario and the shoreline and the bays should stay open. So that means you ought to be able to get out and fish all winter long, which I've never done before. And I'm gonna. If I can, I'm gonna. The Finger Lakes, the deep Finger Lakes, they should stay open, you know. So there's certainly going to be a wealth of fishing opportunities, even if you don't get ice. Even if you don't get ice. So let's start all over again. What's up, everybody? How we doing today? So we'll do. There's a lot of things I'd like to talk about. I'd like to take questions. If anybody has any questions, you know, or things from the past year you want to talk about or reminisce or whatever. You know, we have the time. I'm fishing anyway, and you guys are going to fish along with me. Is it better to have it this way for everybody's viewing or this way? You know, you can quick comment. If you're on here, say hello. I mean, we got 20 people on here. I've seen a few. Check in, say hello, say who you are, where you're from. You know, we'll do more lives and stuff like this throughout the winter, especially if it gets to where I can't get out and there's no ice. But you know, for today, I'd like to start out for sure. And the first thing I should do is thank my wife and my family for everything they do to help me do what I do pretty much every day, year round. You know, I want to thank my great sponsors, the Smoker family, Smoker Craft Boats, Starcraft, the great people at Krenzer Marine, who I will be at the Syracuse Sports Show with the Krenzer Marine booth, the Starcraft selling boats. And I will also be at the Syracuse Boat Show, both at the fairgrounds, one in January, one in February. So you can come out and see me any of those times, say hello. We'll have a merchandise table set up, I'm sure. And we'll be doing stuff live out there from both events on a daily basis. But, you know, Krenzer, JT Rods. A year ago today, I joined the JT family, and I cannot tell you how thankful I am for Matt Bain, for Joe Bricco, for Chris Granrud, for believing in me and bringing me on. And I couldn't be happier with the equipment. I'm fishing a black rain right now. This is the 6.3 that I fish my blades on. You know, I've got 3 rods on deck today. I got the 6.3 black rain. I've got the 6.9 black rain with a shiver minnow on it. And I've got my 7-foot panhandle ultralight. That's been doing swim bait duty now for 2 months. And all of these rods, the whole family, and I've got more in the rod locker, but this whole family of rods has been next level for me, has been game changer. I mean, I guarantee you my hookup percentage has went up 20 to 25% just on feel and sensitivity and speed alone. Reaction speed, feeling that quickly and being able to react to it quickly on light biting walleyes at times or smallmouth. You don't have to have one of these rods to catch fish. I caught a lot of fish before I fished with them, but boy, are they nice. Like anything else, if you're going to do a job every day, you want to have the best tools you can to do all those jobs. I'm a contractor. I don't just have a hammer and a saw. I got a whole trailer full of tools. And these are the best of the best that I've ever fished for those tools. You know, you can go to JT Outdoors. I have a code there, a discount code. Ice season, if you know, depending on I always say that. I always talk about locally here because I'm local, you know, but we have people watching from all over the country, and in some areas that are watching it, all the JT guys that'll watch this are all out in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and most of them already have safe ice and have been fishing now for almost a month. You know, but some of them are way up, I mean, on the Canadian border on Rainy Lake and stuff, so it's a little different, but you can use the codes for the JT ice rods as well. Dakota Lithium batteries, another one of my great sponsors. My boat is completely run on Dakota Lithium batteries. Trolling motor batteries, my live scope battery on my shuttle. Craig Storms, my friend, longtime friend at Dakota Lithium, has been great, absolutely great. He stepped in and he approached me to support Walleye Fest, which is another thing we'll talk about here briefly. We got a lot of people. Hey, 24 is my lucky number. Bob Johnson Chevrolet, my buddy Jay Rowe, up at Bob Johnson Chevy in Pulaski. They've got all kinds of great stuff going on right now with end of the year deals. I just saw they got some of those new Chevy Silverado ZR2s in, which I'm assuming won't stick around long if they even still are. But you can call Jay anytime directly and tell him Matt, the Awakening Angler, sent you, and he will take care of. You will have an excellent experience. I can tell you that right now, from start to finish with that dealership. They take care of things. They're on top of it. They're local, but they're supported by Bob Johnson's, the largest dealership, I think, network in the country. So the guys at Pulaski Chevy and the Ford dealership right there, they're both Bob Johnson. Call Jay. He can take care of you. And he's a fisherman. He's one of us. The great people down at Cortland Line. I use exclusively Cortland Line. I've been on their pro staff now since Courtney and I started this 5 years ago. They were my very first sponsor. You know, and my roots with Cortland go back to my earliest memories. You know, my grandfather on this lake, 4 years old, my grandfather used to run all of the carrier recreation derbies all through the 50s and 60s and 70s. He retired in the early 80s, and I grew up fishing those derbies out here over to Martino's on the South Shore, in Cicero, the Lions Club Derby in the spring. You know, so my roots with Cortland, and they always, every one of those carrier derbies, everybody went home with something. And Cortland was one of those companies that would deliver boxes full of those little spools of line. There'd be like 150 yards of, 8-pound Cortland monofilament or something. And they gave everybody one, every single participant. They're local, Cortland, New York. They've been a pride of Central New York, especially in the fishing industry, all my life. And Cortland has always been synonymous with quality, always. And people would be shocked to know what Cortland has made in their factory down there over the years. You would be shocked. So, I mean, as far as other people's stuff for them. So anyways, so I just wanted to touch on everybody real quick. I couldn't do, I love my Starcraft boat. The people at Krenzer Marine, Tim, Rick, the sales staff. You need electronics rigged, and you need to talk to somebody and have an electronics consultation. Captain Rick Hajecki, who is the service manager at Krenzer's. Rick is up to date on everything in the industry, electronics wise. They rigged my whole boat from start to finish, and did a flawless job that not only everything works correctly, but everything is done correctly. There's no wires, there's no anything. Everything is clean and professional. And in the modern era of massive electronics packages on boats, you gotta have somebody that understands the technical side of it and the technology side of it, that can hook it all up and make it work how it's supposed to flawlessly, so that you're getting every advantage to your electronics that you can, by having them at least hooked up correctly and having the settings. And you can even get with Rick on settings too, but everything will work flawlessly. So let's see. Let me go through comments here real quick, and then we'll move on. Next thing I would like to talk about briefly is upcoming Walleye Fest 2024. So let's see. Merlin, Paul, Scott Dakota, what's going on? Tammy Hoover, good morning. Don Terry, Larry Kelly. My lovely wife is even up. Frank Garvey, Happy New Year. Frank Garvey, if you're still listening, is Terry Garvey your brother? Scott Duranda, Mark Webb. Paul Horchak, what's going on? PA in the house. Mark Webb, I just worry about the sand and salt on the boat. You know what? I'm going to get a hold of the people, my contacts now out at the factory at Smokercraft and in Indiana, and I'm going to ask them, because this isn't just raw aluminum. That even the parts of your aluminum boat that aren't painted, I'm positive that they're treated and coated. It's not just raw aluminum. So my guess is, barring extended exposure, I would think that simply washing it off would be suffice. But I'll ask. I don't know. I'll ask. Things are too expensive to not try to not make sure you take care of them. And I certainly understand anybody that would say, "Oh, I don't even want to take the chance." I understand that completely. We can see more if you do it sideways. All right. Oh, can't. It's locked. Sorry. Don Terry, one of the best falls for fishing I've ever had, and I'm old. Don Terry told me one time while we were ice fishing last year that he remembers when a night of lake was a puddle. It rained one night real hard, and Don said he woke up the next day and there was a night of lake. Oh my God, Tim Graver. How you doing, Farmer Tim? Happy New Year to you and your family as well. E-Tricks, what's up, buddy? Brian Stone. Martino's had the best perch sandwiches, Larry Kelly says. What I remember of Martino's, and I was young, and what I remember of John Martino specifically, just being larger than life, and him and my grandpa were very different personality-wise, but they were pretty tight, and especially during all those derbies, because I mean, Grandpa would bring hundreds of people to Martino's for the derbies, and John was a gracious host. I remember that. I remember the restaurant every Friday night. Every Friday night, Grandma and Grandpa went there for perch dinner, and if you were lucky enough to tag along, I remember Martino's well. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Don Terry, that's so funny. I mean, so Don Terry is responding back to Larry's comment saying Martino's was just 2 buildings away from ours. That's so funny. Like, so Don is, I don't know, Don's older than I am. Let's just say that, and enough to where he could. I don't want to give anything away. Don's older than I am, so my guess is that in all the times I was there, he was there too, and he would have known me when I was a little kid. Go figure. Frank Garvey. No, he is not. I'm from King of Prussia. Frank, okay. It's funny because that guy Terry was one of the best walleye fishermen I ever knew on the St. Lawrence back in the old days, in the early 80s when I was up there as a kid. And it was the Garvey brothers, and it was Frank and Terry. You're not the Frank of Frank and Terry, but thanks for joining us. I've been chucking Homie the Clown around this morning. So it's funny, something has drastically changed here in the last 4 days on this lake. I've been chucking Homie around all morning. Swim bait too. Ed Roser, good morning. Mark Dave Caseta. Can't wait for Walleye Fest. All right, Dave, you just brought us right into the next segment of today's show. Brought to you by Walleye Fest 2024. So Walleye Fest is May 4th and 5th, 2024, which, God, is only 5 short months away. Things are going to be a little bit different. Myself and my collection of amazing partners, business partners, have talked, and we're going to do things a little bit differently. And there will be plenty more details to come, but the Derby is still same time frame. It's going to be a little shorter. It's going to be Saturday at 12:01 a.m. So just after the stroke of midnight on Saturday. The Derby starts. It goes the full 24 hours of Saturday, and then it goes to noon on Sunday. The old time of 3 o'clock, by the time everything gets finalized last year, was getting dark, and it was just too late in the day. And it was a Sunday, and people who drove from a ways wanted to get home. And so we're going to start everything earlier in the day on Sunday for weigh-ins. We're going to have tons of prizes and giveaways. Again, there's going to be a lot of details still to come on Walleye Fest, and I'm working out some details, but we are actively in talks right now with Fishing Chaos, the guys from Fishing Chaos website and app, who do all of the virtual weigh-ins for the BASS kayak division in multiple derbies and trails and tournaments around the country. And we're working right now for something that I think is going to be huge for our little derby. I say little, we had 1,400 contestants last year, and I told everybody from day one I wanted 4,000, and I haven't changed that tune. I want to go back to the old days of what we had for, there was 6 or 7 straight years or years in the 80s that they had over 4,000 entries for this derby. That's what we want to get back to. I'm actively chasing some incredible prizes, not stuff that is going to be, if you catch a tagged fish, stuff that's going to be guaranteed prizes that somebody will win. You know, boats, trucks, ATVs as prizes, as, you know, along with tens and tens of thousands of dollars in cash. So we have a lot of work to do between now and then, and I can't get this new hat to sit right. I'm still working on it. We have tons and tons of exciting stuff to come on Walleye Fest. We are still doing the kickoff party Friday night, so it will start Friday afternoon, to be determined on music and location, but there will be both. There will be food, you know, adult beverages, non-adult beverages, music. There might even be a little bit of a pop-up, you know, kind of tackle shop presence there. So Friday night's going to be a big deal. You know, we're even thinking about fireworks to start the year off right and really have a kickoff party. Last year was a huge success. We had a lot of people show up for the pre-party, and then fishing started at midnight. So that'll be the same this year. Let's see. Let's scroll down. Dave Cassandra, Roger Zoller. Perch balls. Is there an ice bowl? Nope, no ice bowl. Not this year. I tried to put together a preseason, and listen, if anybody would be interested, but I don't know. You know, I don't know. This is the second year where our local tackle shops are in a tough predicament. Boy, do they put out their own money and get a full, you know, set of ice fishing stuff, only to have, you know, very limited ice time. I don't blame them if they don't. You know, I wanted to do the Midwest. They have pre-ice fishing season sports shows that are just ice fishing, like we did for the Ice Bowl. And I really wanted to have one of those this year, sometime in the end of November. And that's still on the docket for next year. But again, it just depends. And these shows every year are like ICAST, but they're just ice specific. And you'll see them in St. Paul, all over the ice belt in the upper Midwest. And all the factory teams go there, and they're really big deals. And they look like a ton of fun. And again, if I had overwhelming people say, you know, yeah, that'd be great. You know, we can put it on for next year, but as of right now, no ice bowl for this year. And listen, if you're looking for ice fishing gear, please support our local people first. You know, the shops up in Pulaski, here on our lake, they're all local people, and anything they have in their ice fishing set, if they don't sell it, they still own it, and they got to hold over for next year. So, I'd rather you go to a local tackle shop and even try to get a deal or something. I don't know, but I'd rather you spend your money with them than coming from who knows where, But that's just 2 cents. Let's see. So we talked about Walley Fest. What else? Anybody got anything else? Water temp right now is 36 degrees. No wind today. I started talking about something has changed. I got skunked on Wednesday or Thursday, one of those days last week. Not a bite. Fishing the same stuff, same places that I'd been fishing for almost 2 months and catching some days as many fish as I wanted. The fall and winter fishing, this year for me has just been outstanding. I couldn't have asked for more or better. Thursday, something changed. It's not the water temperature. We've had a little bit of weather frontal stuff come through. Something's changed. And now yesterday, I saw quite a few fish on live scan when Brandon and I were out here. By the way, we're putting the blue truce out there, just so you know when I set the hook, what I caught it on. Something has changed. I don't know if these fish have moved. I mean, it's very reminiscent. If you go back to it was sometime in September, late August, I'd been on those fish on the shoals, jigging them on the rocks hard for all summer long. And then all of a sudden one day, I didn't get bit. And then the next day, here or there, one or two. Then the next day, nothing. And, oh, Matthew William, gosh. Oi. First cast. There he is too. You're not going to be able to see this. There's my lure. He was right there. There he is. See him? Here he comes. After I missed him, I looked over at my screen and I could see him swimming right back down from it. Sons of bitches. So, again, something has changed. And I don't know if the masses, I don't know if they just clammed up for a couple days. I don't know. I can't answer that. But it's definitely changed. Now, yesterday, I was out with my friend Brandon, and we caught 2 limits of walleyes, of keepers that we kept. But I mean, we fished till noon, which I don't normally fish that late in the day. And he outfished me keeper-wise we had 10, plus he had one that he threw back that was a keeper, so we had 11 keepers. I think he had me 7-4. But it wasn't like it had been. They were soft bites. They were different. They weren't, you'd hit 2. We had 3 doubles yesterday, but then beforehand we'd had nothing, and afterwards nothing for like minutes and minutes. Normally you hit a double like that, you got a little pocket of them within casting distance, and you're usually, even if you don't spot lock and you just keep drifting, you usually got a couple more casts to get in to what you're looking for. Anyway, so the fishing side of me in my fish brain is still actively engaged, even though it's this late in the season. I mean, it could ice over tomorrow and I could be done out here, but I still, up until that moment, I still have to know where I'm at and what I want to do and how I have to formulate my plan before I can put anything into play and be successful. And I suppose that's, ooh, there's a big fish right there. I suppose that's with anything, but I've got to kind of refigure out what I had stopped thinking about for so long, which is where are they and what do they want. Now in the last couple days I went back to fishing. I just set homie down. I've been fishing a blade bait, just that one blade bait. To me, if I can't catch him on homie, I'm not going to catch him on anything. Because homie's the man. I'm going back here and looking. My battery's dead. Well, that stinks. So anyways, well, what else did I have? Got a little bit, it's just cold enough. I've got ice in the guides this morning. Although it's not bad by any means, there's hardly any breeze blowing, and I haven't fished with gloves on all day. Keith, my old friend, how you doing, buddy? Happy New Year's. Anybody have any questions, comments, things you want to talk about? Be more exciting if I caught a few fish, but we haven't done this in a long time, and I miss doing it, and I miss talking to people and interacting. I've been so focused on the fishing here recently that it's been impossible to leave. It's been so good. The couple days that I deer hunted this year, I was thinking about fishing the whole time. I just haven't wanted to leave, and I've been so fortunate. We've had some great trips here, but we've also had some great trips in other locations. I'm definitely going to be doing more brown trout fishing the rest of this winter. I guarantee up on Lake Ontario, weather permitting, I'm going. As somebody that's fished Lake Ontario since I was I started fishing it when I was 14, but I started fishing it professionally when I was 23 in 1994. There he is. Oh my, they are just not. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. Scott Dakota, last year you had great luck with that purple pink I1 blade. Have you had luck with that this year? I'll be honest, Scott, I have not. Friday, when I went out deep looking around, I forgot what I had on. When I went out looking around on Friday after getting skunked Thursday, it was the first time I picked up anything but a swim bait rod. And I picked up the blade rod with homie on it and caught perch and walleyes instantly out in deep water. I found some fish in 29. There he is. There he is. Look at this monstrosity. Ta-da! He is a chunky monkey. Look at that. So, right up through the top lip. And I got it back. $18.25. Da-dun, 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 da-dun. Ah. There he goes. His wind is laid right down, almost flat calm. That walleye just pooped all over my seat. All over my seat. So, Scott, to finish your question, up until the other day, I had not thrown anything but I had not thrown a single thing that wasn't a swim bait since probably early in November. So no, I have not fished that color, and I have not fished that color. And the little bit I have done throwing the blade the last 2 days has been homing. Don Terry, how much travel for you with Smoker Craft this winter? Oh, Don, like I said, I'll be at the Syracuse Sports Show and at the Syracuse Boat Show. I think they wanted me to go do another one, another boat show, but I don't know for sure. So right now my travel is just going to be the 2 shows in Syracuse. Water looks dirty on top. It's we've had a wicked algae bloom the last couple weeks. It started after that east wind blew so hard, must have turned the lake over, and we have had a lot of vegetation in the water, a lot. Brian Stone says, Matt, what size quick connector are you using? Do you like them? I don't use connectors. I tie straight on. Brian, I use snaps for everything, honestly. Mostly because, well, there's no issue with tying straight on, for the most part. On your swim baits and whatnot, sometimes it's a benefit because you can really pin that knot down on the eye of the hook exactly on the angle you want it, and it will allow that bait. It'll change the attitude of that bait a little bit. I don't. Lazy, convenience. I go through a lot of colors. This year, I started using a small saltwater style snap instead of a cross lock or a dual lock, which I always used and have always used. I started using this one this year, and it looks very similar to a paper clip, but it's flat, and from side to side and going through the water, there's nothing here to catch on the weeds, any weeds. Or if there's debris in the water, especially when you're making these long bomb casts with a swim bait, the cross locks would always catch everything right there because there was things sticking out, and this is smooth. I've been throwing these now, and I can't tell you the brand right offhand, but you can find them. You can look them up. I cross snap. I don't know. I forget. But I've been using that on my swim baits, certainly for the last month, all of December, and have caught a lot of fish like this, and I love them. Now, I don't have one with me. I rigged up trolling rods the other day because I went trolling up on Lake Ontario, and on my trolling rods, whether I was trolling or whether I was back trolling in the Salmon River with the drift boat, I use those big VMC style crankbait snaps that have the big, fat, wide belly on them. And I also use that same snap for jerk baits because I want as much freedom of movement on my on certain baits as I can. Certainly my hard baits, if I'm trolling that stick bait, I want it to freely be able to move and not be like this. If I'm throwing that jerk bait, I really want it to go like this and not be so tight. That's just the way I do it. I'm sure 10 other people will tell you 10 other things. And I say this all the time. I can only and will only ever share information with you guys that I know to be so from my own personal experience. Great question. Anybody else, any questions? I didn't take a picture of that fish. That might be my last walleye of 2023. My first walleye of 2023 was January 1st, right back by the 81 bridge, because the rest of this had skimmed over overnight. And I got out that morning. I forgot about that. So I started 23 with a walleye, and if everything holds, I'm going to end the 23 with a walleye. Anybody else have anything for me? Been an incredible year. Have some great fish. So I've met some great people. Been able to share the boat with some really wonderful people and friends, and I'm very blessed. And I love doing what I do. I was a professional guide for so many years, and I still am. I don't do it much anymore, but I did it full time for all my young life, and got to meet so many people in this industry. Fish with so many people, and I like doing that now. 2024's got a whole new set of goals and things that I have that I'm going to put on the whiteboard today and tomorrow, and that I focus on and that I bring to reality. This time last year it was a new boat. This time last year it was to break 2,000 subscribers. This time last year it was. So I firmly believe in setting a goal, writing it down, focusing on it, because if you don't put your intention on it and your effort into it mentally and physically, how do you expect it to happen? How do you expect it to come true? effort is the secret ingredient that makes everything go. And without it, whether it's fishing, whether it's your personal life, your work life, life in general, the good things that happen to good people, they don't just happen. Those good people put good effort forth, and good things come back to them. Take it. So I'm 1 for 3 on camera today. Although if I was a Major League Baseball player, you'd pay me $100 million a year to hit 333. Oh, all right. If nobody else has got anything, I'm going to take 5 minutes to do something that I love because I love it. And yesterday made me happy. Let's talk a little bit about SU hoops. Okay. I have not faithfully watched every game this year like I normally do. I have missed a couple for various reasons. The Maui Invitational did not go well for us. We played 2 excellent teams and we got it handed to us. But I'm going to tell you right now, from that Maui Invitational until yesterday, them playing Pittsburgh in the Dome, what a difference. What a difference in the team. What a difference in the personalities. What a difference in some of these young men realizing that collectively they are, oh, come on. There he is. 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 Oh, there he goes. All right, I'm actually going to get my net out. I didn't even have it out. I didn't use it the last time. I horsed that fish on camera. Real nice, Matt. Blue Truce. My friend Larry Mazar said, I don't care what swim bait you use as long as it's Blue Truce. Well, I just went from 100 million down to 1 million as I went from a 333 hitter to a 250 hitter. Syracuse basketball. Let me tell you, and here's the beauty. I actually now, I know people that know the coach. Coach Red, Coach Autry. Boy, he got fired up last night with that technical. I don't blame him. I was screaming and yelling at the TV right next to him. I like this team. I like what I saw yesterday. When's the last time you saw a hard-nosed, scrappy? I love them. I got excited. I'm not saying they're gonna win every game the rest of the season, but I liked what I saw yesterday. They could have folded. Some SU teams in the past have folded like that. You get punched in the face end of the first half multiple times. All of a sudden it's a back and forth game and you're down 8. You come out, start the second half. They drop a 3 on you. Now you're down 11 and you're 2 minutes into the second half. And I'll be honest with you, I think it pissed those boys off. I think they got upset and they dug in on defense. And, if you really stop and watch that game yesterday, there was 7, 8, 9 guys that all made real solid contributions. Maybe not, it could have been a shot, a block, a steal, a pass, a rebound. They all played together, played hard, played strong, played physical. And it was exciting to watch. And not for 1 second did I think any of those guys were going to back down. And it got physical, like old Big East physical there a little bit. In the flurry, in the deciding time of the second half. And I'm going to tell you what, I was so impressed. Benny Williams, I think that kid is starting to realize that he's got the most talent in any gym he walks in. He can jump out of the gym. He can shoot the ball. He's got good moves. He's got a good handle. He's got good hands. He can just go get it. And he has that attitude that he kind of reminded me a little bit of Derek Coleman yesterday. That snarl a little bit, and I don't want to say snarl. That's not right for this kid because every time I see him, he's smiling. But he's got that bounce, that hop to him and to his game that I really like. And my guess is if he keeps believing in himself like he is, and what it seems to be, that there'll be nobody in this country that can stop him. So what does that mean? You already think you have a point guard like that in Judah Mintz. I like Judah a lot. I do. Last year, I like him a lot. I like his attitude and his ability. Here's what I'd like to see from Mr. Mintz. Pass the ball. When you put your head down and your shoulder down and everybody on the other team knows you're going to the lane no matter what, drop a dime. Wait one. Oh! I still got him. He came off. He sat there for a second. And I still scooped him. Look at this beautiful fish. Look at this fella. Look at this fella. God, he's gorgeous. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that beautiful color. Black and gold, black and gold. Let's see how long he is. What do you think? I'm going to say, I'll say 19. $19 3/4. Look at how gorgeous he is. I love that. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. He's going back. He's going back. I love it. My two favorite things at once. Syracuse basketball and fishing. Go figure. So, Judah Mintz, drop a dime. Dude, we know you can get to the hole. But there are times when you're getting to the hole means all 5 guys on the other team know it's coming and are ready, and you end up taking a forced, so highly difficult shot that maybe, just maybe, just maybe we can get more guys involved. The more guys you get involved, the better. I firmly believe that. I can't think of a time where we went 9 or 10 deep during the Boeheim era where you really could have that many guys. Because you think about it, Malik Brown. I've never seen a player on Syracuse that had faster hands. Ever. He pokes that ball away more and has the ability to go get it and recover it. It's phenomenal. I love watching him. He's another one. Great hands, nose for the ball, fast hands. Like I say, watch him. Start watching him. See how many times he pokes the ball away. If he's not leading the ACC in steals, I bet you he's got to be close. JJ Starling, huge three yesterday at the end. I would just like to see that young man settle into his game and play his game. I'm sure he's got a lot of pressure coming home after leaving and going to Notre Dame, I'm sure. And maybe it's sped up his game a little bit. He has not always looked comfortable out there. And my hope for 24 is that he finds his rhythm, because he reminds me of a Stevie Thompson who can shoot. This team reminds me a lot of the great 80s teams that ran. that ran, fast break, rebound, kick it out, steal, run. I mean, the old days, Sherman Douglas and Ronnie Cycli and Derek Coleman and Stevie Thompson and Howard Trish and all those guys, man, they ran. And somebody got the ball to the middle of the court and there was wings on both sides and there was no way defenders could pick who they were going to throw to, you know. I love seeing these guys throw the alley-oops to each other. That to me is the ultimate share, because both guys get the highlight. You know, and in that era and in today's game, that's important for kids. But yesterday it looked like everybody bought in to that team concept and that I'm gonna do it because you're doing it and we're all doing it, and everybody was feeding off each other. Chris Bell, that kid can shoot the lights out from anywhere in the gym. He's gotta be getting himself open more and demanding the ball from his teammates in those spots, because he is the shooter and he's got to stay out of foul trouble. He is the shooter that we need on the floor. Kadir Copeland, I hope I'm saying his first name right. Let's just call him Cope. That kid is hustle personified. He's got a nose for the ball. He played a lot of minutes yesterday, and I don't see how you could take him off the court. He was invaluable. Not just that he scored and had a career high, he rebounds exceptionally well from the top of the key. Exceptionally well. Just has a nose for the ball. So I might have lost everybody now, but I love Syracuse hoops, and who knows? Like I say, I have friends now that know the coach. Not that, yeah, because I think that's cool. God, I was just beaming yesterday with that game. Yeah, right at the end, we made a few plays that we probably shouldn't have, and I'm sure it gave Coach Autry some very quick indigestion in that last minute and a half. But we held on as we should have, but that game could have easily went to 20 at the end. Easily, because we had them, and that Pitt is a big, good team. And next up is Duke. And who doesn't want to punch Duke in the mouth? I mean, anybody? So that's my SU hoops 2 seconds. I would love to do something and do a little SU hoops talk show, maybe a post game. We'll do a post game and just talk, not fishing, just talk SU basketball. Because I know, listen, I'm an SU kid since I was my whole life. And I know there's a lot of guys that fish that love SU sports just like I do, especially hoops. So if anybody wants to, I would love to talk hoops every single after the game and talk about what we saw. Why are we any different than anybody else? We can talk about it. All right, so let's see. Speaking of dropping a dime, right on, you get, yeah, I did that, and it was perfect timing too. It really was. It's so beautiful out here right now. I got my big ice suit on from Stryker. Stryker is not a sponsor of mine, but Stryker, if you're listening, you certainly can be. I love your stuff, and when it's cold, I wear this ice suit. It's got flotation and everything in it, but you got to be careful because it's so warm. I only just have a hoodie and a pair of jeans underneath it, and I'm perfectly fine. I don't even have my gloves on. Yes, it's winter, but boy, it's so nice out here. There was 5 or 6 boats out here this morning. 1, 2, 3. I see 3 back to the west. Yeah, maybe that's it now. There was a boat out here when I got out here, which is unusual. Although I was a little late. It was probably 7:45 by the time I got out here. This time of year, I don't think the early morning bite is necessarily important. Although I always fish sunrise. I mean, that's, if I'm going fishing, I'm going to be out early. You know, might just as well. Okay. What's my thoughts on the college football playoffs? I don't care one way or another. I'm looking forward to watching that Alabama-Michigan game tomorrow, and I'm rooting for Alabama. I'm not a Michigan fan in any way, shape, or form, or a Harbaugh fan, to be honest with you. So I'm rooting Alabama, and I think Alabama will win. Ultimately, whoever they play on the other side, even though Texas did beat them earlier in the season, after seeing what Alabama did to Georgia and then seeing what Georgia did to Florida State yesterday, I think Alabama is the cream of the crop, and I would have rather seen probably Alabama-Georgia again as the title game, or at least in the playoffs, because that first game was so great. So I think Alabama, I have no idea. Tim Graver, where am I fishing on the lake? Well, there's the islands right there. So I'm not far from your place, Tim. I'm just right here there's no wind now, so I'm just kind of drifting and casting out here. My GoPro's dying back there. Anything else, anybody? Well, we've been an hour. I thank everybody for joining us. Unless anybody's got anything else, I'm not going anywhere. I just got to be back for the Dolphins game at 1. Oh, happy birthday to my son, Danny. He's 19 years old today. His mother said, there'll always be a party for your birthday. So, yep, he was out duck hunting this morning with his buddies. And I think I heard him shooting from here. So, maybe they got a few. Go Dolphins is right, Tammy Hoover. DeGoose, thinking about those Florida snook yet? Don't say Florida around my wife, please. She's threatening me that we're going to Florida for a month sometime this winter. I'm okay with that. All right, well, everybody, I think I'm gonna take off. Hope everybody has a wonderful New Year's Eve tonight. Have a great time. And I'll be back out here for tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Have a great New Year's. Happy New Year to everybody. From Courtney and my family and all my great sponsors, to all of you out there, thank you for an amazing 2023. I couldn't and wouldn't have done it without you guys. So, and girls. I always say guys, that's just a general statement. So much great stuff to come. You know, we just keep moving, keep going up and up and up, and everybody gets to go with us. And I love it. And I love you guys with all my heart. Be good to yourself. Start 2024 on the right foot. Do something good for yourself every day and see how it changes how you feel. If we only treated ourselves as well with as much love and care as we do our spouses or our children or anything else that you love, got to love this first. And the more this love grows from here to here, the more everything else loving comes to you and comes around you. For people that struggle through the holidays, keep your tip up. It sucks, and there are days where it's dark for all of us. Just keep your tip up. Keep your tip up. You keep moving. You keep going forward. You keep getting better. You keep trying to figure out a way to love yourself that day, to do something nice for yourself. something. Self-love changes everything. And what you give to yourself and you start to feel that love and you start to radiate that love out, it magnetizes more love and brings it back. And that circular flow goes out and comes right back around to you. And what you put out, what you give out, and what you put out there is absolutely what comes back to you. If you do nothing else, start 2024 mindfully and say, I am going to do things that are good for me. And start to really take note of how that comes back to you. And I think you will be pleasantly surprised and wonderfully surprised, because there's a lot of great people and a lot of great stuff in this world. And if I can help anybody enjoy their day a little bit more, catch another couple fish in some small way, then I've contributed. And I've contributed to people's happiness, and that's what I want to do. That's my calling in life. And that's what I want to do, is be able to give some love and some joy and some happiness to people. And I do it in my way, which is fishing. Fishing is what I do. It's what I've always done. I'm good at it. I've spent my life guiding people and teaching people, and now I get to do it with thousands and thousands of people a day. And that's amazing. It's amazing on so many levels, and I love doing it. And then again, I do it all for you. So on that note, I want everybody to have an amazing, amazing New Year's. Here's the 2024. 24 is my lucky number. 24 is my lucky number. 24 is going to be just an outstanding, outstanding year. So buckle up, everybody. Thanks for joining me so far. And subscribe, like, share, tell your friends. You know, the more we grow, the more we grow. And I'll see everybody tomorrow, next year, 2024. Keep your tip up.